We're in session and cause number 330692, case of style state of Texas versus Nolan Lotman, Nolan J. Lotman. Is that your full name?
Nolan Joshua Ray.
Okay, Nolan Joshua Ray Lotman.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Lotman?
All right.
Mr. Lotman, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lotman, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lotman, you may put your hand up. Mr. Lotman, I have two documents before me. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's
That's
status
correct,
defendant?
sir.
There are a set of initials on the line states that you want to apply for court-appointed attorney. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled Affidavit of Indigence, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lotman, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lotman, I've read your responses in the affidavit of indigence. You meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that's going to be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Brent Turk. Now, Mr. Lotman, you can stand on the 4X in front of our court coordinator.
Nash, one thing, I was incarcerated. That's of arrest on this charge until.
Well, I can't give you any legal advice if that's what you're asking.
Oh, okay.
You have an attorney that's representing you, Mr. Brent Turk. You can tell him everything you need to know about your case.
Yes, sir.
Okay, stand on the 4X.
3720 South 4th Street, Oakland, Texas.
Oh,
Is that all five?
Oh, fine.
And your phone?
Nine,
Your phone?
409 454 0847.
that other gentleman finished with his paperwork? Court is in session in cause number 325-524, case of Style, State of Texas versus Guy Maurice Johnson. Mr. Johnson, would you come forward? Mr. Johnson, would you please raise your your right hand? Mr. Johnson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, you may put your hand down. Mr. Johnson, how are you doing?
All right.
That's good, Mr. Johnson. I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
And are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
And also, Mr. Johnson, I also have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. You recognize this document? And on page 2 of the same document, there are signature above the line that's titled Defendant Signatures. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Johnson, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mrs. Johnson, I have read your affidavit of indigence, and based on the response that you have provided in your affidavit, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that has been appointed to represent you is Kyle Walker. Mr. Johnson, please stand on the 4X in front of our court coordinator, and she'll provide you with the information that you need regarding your attorney.
401.
401.
No, 41. 43.
The phone number, please, please.
409, 499, 6365.
Oh, keep it back. 409, 499, 6365.
Your Honor, Mr. Gilthorpe is most definitely in trial.
Okay, thanks. We're in session in cause number 330944, case of Style, State of Texas versus Larry Broxton Sr. Mr. Bailiff, would you please hand that to Mr. Broxton? Mr. Broxton, I have before me two documents. I'll go over that document with you after I finish. First, now I have before me two documents. The first document that I have is titled Judge's Explanation to the Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes,
And are these your initials on the line stating that you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
yes.
And also, Mr. Broxton, I have before me an affidavit of indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Broxton, is this your signature on the line that's titled Defender's Signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Broxton, did I swear you in?
Oh, no. not
Okay.
yet.
Mr. Broxton, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Broxton, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Broxton, these two documents that I've just mentioned to you that have your signature and your initials on it, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Broxton, based on the response that you have on your documents, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And based on the information, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that is appointed in this case is Mr. Joel Vasquez. Now, Mr. Broxton, also, you've also been handed out a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2.
Yes.
And I'll go over these conditions with you. And it reads, following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and a test in the case of presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense. The defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 4 does not apply to you because that only applies in a DWI case. However, condition number 5 does apply, and it states that the defendant shall wear a global positioning monitoring system device at the defendant's expense with written verification being submitted to court within 3 days. Do you understand that condition?
No, no.
That's a GPS device, and then we have a form where you can places that you can get it.
Okay.
Okay?
May I have to go buy something?
Yes. Okay, it's called a GPS device.
Okay.
All right. Mel, do we have and the paperwork is over there. So it's going to be provided to you. Stand on the X in front of our court coordinator, and we'll get that form for you. Also, you'll be given the information on your attorney and how you can contact him.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.